How's it going, everyone? My name is Michael SK, and welcome back to Chaos Child. We are in Arimura's route, and the last episode was full of one very big surprise, but it isn't related to anything. Like, it was kind of just, I guess, a reveal. Not much of a reveal, but like something totally unexpected that happened in the last episode that was more notable than anything else that happened in the last episode, at least in my opinion. And that's pretty much it. Pretty much other stuff that happened in the last episode, Arimura could be seen in pretty much every scene that came up, or almost every scene that came up. She seemed to have more of an appearance, I guess you could say, than you would normally expect. And in the beginning of the episode, we also got a glance at her family, just like this one, which I think is good, because I assume that these routes are supposed to help us understand these characters. So let's go ahead and read on, shall we? Smiles. There were always smiles in Arimura's family back then. Just don't make it weird.
ひなえは本当にお兄ちゃん子だな。
そうね。でもしんごちゃんがひなちゃんの面倒を見てくれるから助かるわ。
これからもひなえのこと頼んだぞ。しんご。
Mom and Dad were both busy with work. Sometimes they'd have to sleep at the company, and they didn't spend a lot of time at home. But when they were with the family, they always smiled. That's always good. And Hinae had a big brother too. Just having her brother by her side was enough for her not to feel lonely. She could and did believe that she was part of a happy family. For young Hinae, that was her whole family. That was what was true for her. One day Hinae was bullied a little at school. It started with something small. Someone said they had lost the basketball game in gym class because of her. Hinae was a tiny little girl, and the big ball scared her. When they passed it to her, she ducked away. When her brother Shingo saw that he was down, he immediately asked her,
どうした? もしかしていじめられてるのか?
Hinae shook her head.
違うよ。いじめられてなんかない。
She was embarrassed. She didn't want her family to know that someone was mad at her for something. It is kind of... To be mad at like that is kind of stupid, but you gotta remember children, and children get mad over everything. So she lied. But her brother had known immediately that she wasn't telling the truth.
ひなえ、嘘はダメだぞ。嘘だけはついちゃいけないんだ。そんな卑怯な人間になっちゃいけない。
I have a feeling that this is related to her abilities that come on a little later. It was the first time she'd seen her brother look so strict. Her brother hated lies more than anybody. She'd been so impressed by her beloved brother that she'd sworn to herself that she'd never tell a lie. Huh, well that was a lie. She couldn't grow up to be a coward. She wasn't going to tell any lies.
本当はね、私。
The thing is that as humans, we are bound to tell lies. Even when we don't mean to. It's just whatever's convenient. Like when you compliment someone saying that they look good, but in reality they don't. And you say that because you don't want to hurt their feelings. It's a nice gesture, but at the same time, you're lying. But it's better to say that and lie than maybe not to say the actual truth. Don't always do that, by the way, guys. Only in certain circumstances, and I feel like if I talk more, I'm gonna get myself in deep trouble. That she'd been bullied at school, that it was something over that had happened in gym class.
だったら、兄ちゃんと練習しようか。
いいの？
当たり前だろ。上手くなれば、きっとみんなも怒ったりしなくなる。
I used to play basketball with my siblings. I was hella good. You know, compared to my siblings. With her brother's help, Hinae got over her fear. And the bullying stopped, and her friends came back. Yeah, now that you're good at basketball, we'll be friends with you. She came to love her brother even more. But one day... That crack in the glass here isn't a good sign. Hinae realized that all her happiness was an illusion. It started when she witnessed her parents cheating. Oh no. Don't do that. That's the biggest lie ever. Damn it. I hate how we only get a glimpse at her past, like every episode or so. If that is actually the case, if we only get a glance or a glimpse of her past once an episode, I'm gonna be so upset. 4 days had passed since we'd been attacked by Haida Riko. But there had been no developments in the case.
で、どうする?
So we are straying off the path of the original story, or common route, whatever you want to call it. We definitely are straying off the path. Different events seem to be occurring, or should I say, events are not occurring, excuse me. We're going down a completely different path. Hopefully a much better path where people live.
聞いてんのかよ、宮代。聞いてるよ。これからの新聞部の方向性だろ。たくん、分かってんならそう言えよ。ボケーっと窓の外なんか見て、気の抜けたあくびしやがって。
I was bored. It had been a month and a half since the Don't Look at Me case. So much had happened, and then everything had suddenly come to a halt. I wasn't sure how to handle all this peace and quiet. Part of me was hoping that there'd be some new development. Excuse me, and part of me was thinking that maybe this was just how it was going to come to an end. I think as humans, we're always wanting something. I don't know why I am trying to get so philosophical, but no, here's an example. Whenever I get done with like a school semester and I have a little bit of a break, for example now, I'm on summer break. Sure, I am happy to have been done, or to be done, with that spring semester because that shit was awful. But at the same time, it's weird. There's like the part of me that wants to continue on, to continue going through all that, or at least to do something. But I do like the peace and quiet.
しょうがないっちゃしょうがないんだろうけどさ。別にそういうんじゃないよ。ただ何も起きなければ動きようがないってだけだ。
In fact, the whole madness with the sumo stickers was starting to recede as well. Could that be because we told Serica that we're low-key kinda okay with the case not continuing? Because she is behind all this shit. That we know. According to Serica, all the stickers had been covering the city, or that had been covering the city, had been removed when she'd gone into town yesterday. The government must have taken them down or something. Since just seeing them was enough to make me sick, I was pretty glad, but... I looked down at the window and saw an unusual pairing.
どうした? いや。ああ、なんだ。有村に和樹か。珍しい組み合わせだなと思ってさ。確かにな。でもこの前のことあっただろう。ほら、有村の勢いに思わず和樹がって。
Yeah, the one big event that occurred in the last episode, I'm pretty sure that's all that was worth mentioning that happened in the last episode. Even so, it doesn't have anything to do with Arimura, except for the fact that she was the one that got her to talk.
そういや、あれはさすがの僕も驚いたな。なんだって初めてのことだったから。だな。今まで笑い声は聞いたことあっても、喋ってるところなんて聞いたことなかったし。
Arimura and Kazuki were talking happily, but from here I couldn't hear what they were saying, and from the look of it, Arimura was doing all the talking, and Kazuki was just shaking and nodding her head. But she didn't seem upset or bothered at all. They are the same year, they're both freshmen, right?
そういや最近仲いいじゃないか。有村と。はぁ?
What was he talking about?
とぼけんなって。この前も放課後に二人で楽しそうにしてたって聞いたぞ。
Serica must have told him. God, where did she get these ideas?
別に特別仲がいいってわけじゃない。ただ有村はほら、言ってみれば同類みたいなもんだろ。だからそれなりに話したってする。その程度だ。
なんだよそれ、もったいねえな。
もったいないって何がだよ。
知らねえの？有村ってあいつ結構人気あんだぜ。
人気？人気って要するに男子の間でってことか。
だってほら見ろよ、見てくれだってまあそこそこレベル高えし、誰とでも明るく接するタイプじゃん。
それはあいつの能力が。
そんなのはどうだっていいんだって。みんな知らねえんだからさ。要は受け取る方がどう受け取るかってことだろ。
That made sense. Maybe. Arimura was just trying to avoid making enemies, but on the other hand, that meant making friends.
にしてもお前ほんとそういうの疎いよな。それでよく人のこと情弱だなんだ言うぜ。まったく。
あのな伊藤、勘違いしているようだから一石ぶってやろうか。言っておくけど、誰かが人気だとか誰と誰が付き合ってるとか、そうした情報なんてこの壁宝学園というほんの小さなコミュニティ内での些細でどうでもいい情報でしかない。
Huh?
そんなこと知っていたところで真の状況とは言えないし、ましてや物事の真実を見極めるような大舞台は待っていないぞ。せいぜいがギャルゲーの中での親友ポジション止まりだ。
誰がギャルゲーの親友キャラだ。誰が。
さっきのお前の発言なんてそのものじゃないか。
This is feeling a little bit too real.
言われてみりゃ確かにそんな発言だったような気がしてきた。
ほら、どうでもいいことで落ち込むな。授業始まるぞ。
I just got the sudden urge to play Katawa Shoujo again. Ito looked really depressed for some reason. I tried to cheer him up, then looked back out the window. Arimura and Kazuki were gone.
タク、今日は部活あるの？
Sarika came by as soon as school was over.
特に何をするってのもないけど、一応部室には行こうと思ってる。それにしてもお前早いな。
Also, weren't we supposed to shut down the club? Wasn't that a thing in like chapter 4 or some
今日は
shit?
なんか授業が早く終わったから。
まあいいや。それじゃあ部室に。
チャオース。
Why is she here? This ain't her class. Now it was Arimura's turn to barge in. She opened the door as energetic as ever. At the same time, the whole class started to stir.
おい、あれ有村ひないだろ、2年の。
ほんとだ。俺ああいう裏表なさそうな元気な子って好みなんだけど。
つうか、うちのクラスに何の用だ？
宮代先輩は、あ、いたいた。
Why is she like so attached to us? I don't understand here, man. It's kind of creepy. Everyone was surprised to see her walk straight over to me.
はあ、嘘マジで。
つうか、なんで宮代みたいなやつのとこに。
Aw, man. Well, we have to choose positive here. For now.
宮代先輩、チャオス。
Yeah, yeah.
おう。
What Ito had been saying was evidently true. I could feel all the boys in the class glaring at me. It kind of made me feel superior.
あ、セリも来てたんだ。チャオス。チャオス。
At some point, Sarika had started copying Arimura's greeting.
ところで有村までどうしたんだよ、わざわざ。
やだなあ。私がここに来る理由なんて一つしかないじゃないですか。
One reason. Well, let's get a hopefully good reason out of this
タク
delusion.
ル王子、お迎えに上がりました。
Okay, I want out.
王子
You see, it only took one line this time to really want me to get the fuck out. What was she talking about?
やはり記憶をなくされてしまっているのですね。では仕方ありません。説明なら私がするよ、タク。
おのえ。
実は今まで黙っていたけど、私たちは地球より360万光年離れた惑星ギガローマからやってきた宇宙人なんだよ。
Again with the alien stuff, huh?
そしてタク、あなたも。
僕が宇宙人？
そう、惑星ギガローマは6つの王国に分かれています。そのうち5つの国は女系国家、そして唯一男性がいる国がタクル王子、あなたの国なのです。
クルスまで何言ってるんだ？大丈夫か？気は確かか？
When did what?
信じられないのも無理ないよね。でもこれは事実なんだよ。
I was gonna say, like, when did Kirisu walk in? But hold on, I have an even greater question. Even Kunasato. Wait, that's not what Kunisato's personality is like. What's going on here?
私たちはね、それぞれの国のお姫様で、あなたの妃の座を射止めるために留学先であるこの国へとやってきたの。けれどタクル王子、あなたはこの星へやってきた時にこの町で起きた地震に巻き込まれ、記憶をなくしちゃってたんだよ。
ちょっと待て、唐突すぎてついていけないんだけど。
私たちはみんなあなたの記憶が戻るまで待っていたわ。けどそれももう限界。そろそろ相手を決めてもらわなきゃ。私たちの国がギガローマの星そのものが消滅してしまうかもしれないの。タクル王子、
God damn it.
私と結婚してほしいかも。
カズキ、お前もか？
Huh?
私だって結婚したいです。
山添まで？
分かっていただけましたか、タクル王子。分かったのなら私をあなたの将来のパートナーに、そしてその証に熱い口づけを。
My God, Takuru has lost his freaking marbles.
ちょっと待ってよ、のんちゃんだけ抜け駆けしてずるい。タクと一番仲いいのは私だもん。ねえタクは私のこと選んでくれるよね？
いや、ちょっと待って、選ぶも何も急すぎて何が何だか。
そんな、宮代先輩は私のことが好きなはずです。ね、宮代先輩。
あ、いや、
待って、その人は私のものなの。
そのキャラ違和感ひどすぎるんですけど。
私のかも。いいえ、私のものです。私のタクだもん。私のです。
That's illegal.
違うわ、私のよ。私の。
This
私
is
の。
very strange. Like, I get it.
私のだもん。
Takuru, just like all of us,
私の。
really wants a harem.
私の。
Actually, that's a lie.
私の。
I'm pretty sure the majority of men would not prefer
待っ
that.
て、みんなもっと落ち着いて。
Damn, that's a lot of sprites. I guess it really goes to show you how many females are in this shit. Everyone was looking at me.
誰を選ぶの？
What do I do? Get out of the delusion. Quick as fuck. How stupid. A prince? What the hell is wrong with me?
先輩、聞いてます？
ここに来た理由だよな。
Sarika, I am sorry that you saw any of that.
例の件なんか進展あったかなって。
いや、特に進展といったものはないよ。
ありゃりゃ、そうっすか。残念。あれ？でもタク、今から部室に行くんじゃないの？
まあ一応そのつもりだけど。じゃあ
ひなちゃんも一緒に行けばいいじゃん。え？だってタク一人じゃつまんないでしょ？
一人って尾上は来ないのか？
私は休養があったのを思い出しちゃった。
そっか。
I feel like Sarika is really trying to push Takuru towards Arimura.
ちなみにのんちゃんは生徒会の仕事で、しんちゃんも今日は用事があるって言ってたよ。
Come to think of it, the two of them had disappeared.
そういうわけだから、ひなちゃん、今日はタクのことお願いね。バイバーイ。セリー。
Sarika left the room before anyone could stop her. What was she doing here? Just me and Arimura were left.
別に尾上の言うことは気にしなくていいぞ。なんだよ。
先輩、忘れてません？私の能力のこと。
What was she talking about?
まあ先輩も一人で部活ってのも寂しいでしょうし、しょうがない、付き合ってあげましょう。
おい、別に僕は寂しくなんてないし、付き合ってくれとも言っていない。
Or did I actually think I'd be lonely there by myself? No, but that's...
はいはい、わかりましたわかりました。それじゃ、レッツゴー！
We just can't win, can we? Arimura wrapped her arm around mine and dragged me out of the classroom before I could protest any further. Seeing the jealousy of the other boys' eyes made me feel kind of good. We are the king of normies. When I got to the clubroom, I was surprised to see that someone was already there.
あれ、花、なんだ来てたんだ。
Yeah, she's always here. It really shouldn't be surprising. Kazuki was playing her game like always. When she saw us, she nodded slightly.
何やってるの？また演出？演出ってそんなに面白いの？そっか。だったら私も今度やってみよっかな。
おいおい、嘘だろ。
Kazuki smiled? She did earlier. I had seen her laugh when she found something funny on the night that we'd stayed over for the school festival, but I'd never seen her smile so happily. Actually, she'd been talking to Arimura yesterday, too.
なあ、二人とも、いつの間にそんなに仲良くなったんだ？
いつって、先輩も知ってるでしょ？つい最近ですよ。話してみたら意外と馬があったっていうか、ねえ。
Maybe since Kazuki didn't talk, it was easier for them to get along? Maybe they made a pretty good pair.
それにしても、普段どんな話をしてるんだ？
別に普通ですよ、普通。学校であったこととか、プライベートのこととか、昔の話とか。
It looked like Arimura's expression clouded for a second.
まあいいじゃないですか。それより先輩、事件のこと。一応昨日の夜、例の刑事さんから連絡があったんですけど。
Ah, good old Shinjo.
何か新しいことでも分かったのか？
なんにも進んでないっぽいです。ほんと警察って肝心な時に役に立たないですよね。
そっか。
From what Shinjo had told Arimura, the underground facility at AH Tokyo General had totally disappeared. That in itself was a big development, but it also meant that all of our clues were gone. And then there was that Yamazoe Uki girl. They were looking after her at the Frisia place, but all she did was cry. They couldn't get any information out of her or even get her to explain who she was. Since Arimura had brought it up, I was hoping there'd be some new development. I felt a little down.
言っときますけど先輩、だからってまたいろいろと探り回ったりはしない方がいいですよ。それと例の能力ですけど、まさか使ったりしてませんよね。
言われなくても大丈夫だって。
Things were calming down, and we hadn't been attacked since then. But that didn't mean that the case was over.
ふむふむ、どうやら本当みたいですね。じゃあいい子いい子してあげます。
I knocked Arimura's hand away.
やめろって、こんなことで嘘ついたってしょうがないだろ。
でも一応念を押しとかないと、これ以上知り合いがあんな目に遭うのは嫌ですからね。
By that, she was probably referring to Kakita. Kakita was investigating the gigalomaniacs, she'd said. He'd suspected that some huge organization was involved. Whether they were responsible for the crimes, or if it was all that Hidoriko person, I didn't know. Either way, it was probably a good idea not to do anything until I knew.
それより先輩、いい加減連絡手段なんとかした方がいいんじゃないすか？今みたいな状態じゃ何かあった時に困るんですけど、ほら今の私たちって一連卓勝みたいなもんじゃないすか。
In this together, huh?
どうかしました？
別に。でもそうだな、確かにそのうち買わなきゃなとは思ってるよ。
I couldn't stay without a phone forever. Without one, I couldn't call for help if I needed it.
よし、じゃあ買いに行きましょう。日曜日に決まり。
は？何勝手に決めてるんだよ。そもそもなんで日曜なんだ。
その方がいろいろ息抜きもできるし楽しいでしょ。
楽しいでしょって、もしかして一緒に来るつもりか。
だって私もたまには息抜きに遊びたいし。
それなら友達と遊びに行けばいいじゃないか。
先輩が言ってる友達というのが私がよく一緒にいるクラスの子たちって意味ならまっぴらごめんです。
なんで？
楽しくないんだもん。
Yeah, I thought she drilled it in pretty damn well that she did not enjoy being around them, as they just lied and were just ridiculous, which I can completely understand. Good old youth. And it probably wasn't a lot of fun if you knew when the people you were talking to were lying to you. Wait.
それって裏を返せば僕とだったら楽しいってこ。
ほら先輩は私の能力のこと分かってるじゃないっすか。それだけでこっちも気分的に楽なんですよ。
She was right. I couldn't lie if I knew she could tell when I was doing it, and even if I did, I wouldn't be able to keep it up. That was exactly how I was acting around her right now. But didn't that mean that she could have fun with anybody who knew about her power?
だったらせっかくだし尾上も誘って。
Suddenly, I felt a light impact on the back of my head. I turned around and saw that Kazuki had given me a chop to the back of the head.
おい、いきなり何するの？
Oh, so that's it.
分かったよ。和樹も連れてけって言うんだろ。
No, that's not what she's trying to insinuate here, my man. What was going on?
尾上は誘うなってことか。
I see that Chaos Child has been converted into a slice of life visual novel, I guess. Because now Takuru is an oblivious MC.
じゃあ、クレスか伊藤。
Kazuki's raised fist landed straight on top of my head. Evidently, she didn't want me to invite anyone.
じゃあそういうことで
日曜の正午にハチ公前でアディオスグラッシャ
有村
Why did they both leave? Both Arimura and Kazuki had vanished before I had a chance to stop them. Damn, everybody's trying to push some sort of narrative here. Or for a narrative. Sunday in front of the Hachi statue. I didn't really have any plans. I wanted to see if the sumo stickers were gone too, so I didn't mind going. But shopping? Just the two of us? That sounded like a date!
Date?
Such a cursed word. Maybe. Don't you ever say that word in my household. Or to my face. Even after coming home, I couldn't stop thinking about it. I'd been practically forced into meeting with her on Sunday. Well, what day was it now? I've completely lost track of time in this game. I was going out shopping with a girl, seen from the outside. Would that be considered a date? But if going shopping with a girl made it a date, then I'd been on plenty of dates with Serika and Kirisu. But this felt somewhat different for some sort of narrative reason. Therefore, let us read Cool Cat Press. A date was supposed to be the kind of thing that Cool Cat Press wrote about. That was a little different than what I'd done with Serika and Kirisu. When I went out with Kirisu, we were always going grocery shopping and stuff. I was just there to hold bags. You couldn't call that a date. And Serika would just tag along whenever I wanted to go somewhere. You couldn't call that a date either. What was the exact definition of a date anyway? It's pretty much just hanging out. Two members of the opposite sex meeting at a designated time, the dictionary said. Which meant that maybe all the things I'd done so far weren't dates, and what I was doing Sunday was... But wait, I couldn't get too far ahead of myself. Even if I thought it was a date, if she didn't, I'd end up looking like a fool. But still, if Arimura did think it was a date, and I couldn't escort her properly, excuse me, I'd still look stupid. Minamikata's column in Cool Cat Press always said that a man who couldn't make a woman happy was scum. Well, that's a nice slap in the face. Scum. Scum's Wish is a really weird anime. If it was a date, it would be good to be prepared. And if it turned out not to be, I could just change my plans. If I could just get all the how-to knowledge crammed into my head. No. No, it's a little far off there. Well, that could be helpful. Where was he? He always showed up when I didn't want him, but now that I needed him, he was nowhere to be seen.
Ken-san!
おお、タクか。なんだ、血相変えて。もしかしてお前も一杯やりたくなったかい？
そうじゃなくて、あれの新しいのない？
あれってなんだ？
だからほら、いつものクールキャット。
ああ、あれな。どうだろうな。
あるなら欲しいんだよ、明日までに。
明日まで？それは無理だな。
そう言わないでさ、頼むよ、俺なら弾むから。
I don't know how Gen feels about that. October 18th, Sunday. The clock read 3 minutes to noon. I checked the time, took out a bottle of Mountain View, and took a big gulp. Wait, what time were we supposed to meet her? If I hurried, I could make it to the station in 3 minutes. So there was no need to panic. I cleared my head and opened up the March 1999 issue of Cool Cat Press that Gen had rushed out to find for me. Your First Date, A Real Man's Choices. This was the article I'd been looking for. It had all the know-how I needed for my first date. Over the last 2 days, I'd gone through this and every other issue of Cool Cat Press to prepare myself. I was now the normiest of normies, the ultimate normie, you could say. And this is what my normie database was telling me. Arrive late. Not only would being late keep her in suspense, it would also heighten her excitement for the events that were about to occur. Actually, guys, don't do that. Arrive early, because that shows that you're diligent with time or whatever. I checked the time again and it was noon exactly.
Yoshi, そろそろ行くか.
Nothing like being fashionably 3 minutes late. That's what I always say. I took the long way around Shibuya Station and headed for the statue of Hachi. And there she was. I remember the phrases I'd read 1,000 times last night as I got close to her. You run up to her, out of breath, and say, "I'm sorry, did you wait long?" And then she'll say, "No, I just got here." Cool Cat Press, March 1999 edition. Thank God that was referenced. I'd be worried about the sources.
あ、
ごめん、待った。
遅い。
え？
何やってんすか先輩。女の子待たせるとか超ありえないんですけど。
え？あ、いや、その。
こんなところで待たせてナンパでもされちゃったりしたらどうしてくれるんですか。さっきだってもうちょっとで声かけられるところだったんですからね。
This didn't make sense. Cool Cat, what's going on?
振り返って睨みつけたらどっか行っちゃったからいいけど、あのままだとすっごく嫌な思いするところだったじゃないですか。
ごめん。
まあいいです。次からは気をつけてくださいよ。
はい、わかりました。
That one just didn't happen to work out. Next time it would work for sure.
そういえば、その服なかなかいいな。
Cool Cat dating tip number 2, praise her outfit. Every girl loves compliments. Her clothes, her hairstyle, it doesn't matter what, just tell her it looks good.
あれ？この服、前も着てましたけど？
そうだっけ？
まったく、それって全然私に興味ないってことじゃないですか。ちょっとショック。
Damn, we aren't getting any confidant points out of this one.
そんなことは。あ、そういえば髪型、前髪切った？
切ってません。
Oh, it failed again. What is going on, Cool Cat?
そんじゃ、行きましょっか。
そうだな。それじゃあまずは、あれ？
Arimura had started walking before I could say a word.
おい、どこ行くんだ？
どこって、スマホ買いにでしょ？
え？
先輩のってどこのでしたっけ？それとも DU？ ハドバン？どっちにしてもこっちですよね。
I didn't understand any of that.
あ、ひょっとして格安のシムフリー端末ですか？だったら。
あ、いや、こっちで大丈夫だ。
そうですか。じゃあ行きましょう。
Arimura nodded and started walking again. That's right. I'd been so focused on the word date that I'd forgotten why I'd originally come here. It didn't take too long at all to get a new smartphone. Once I picked out the phone and re-registered my number, I was able to pull most of my old data off the cloud. My photo was gone, but unfortunately there was nothing I can do about that.
オッケー、ちゃんと登録しました。これで何かあった時も連絡取れますね。
The first thing I did once I got my new phone was to add Arimura's number. The problem was what to do now. I'd accomplished my goal for the day, but I couldn't just let all the know-how I'd built up on how to be a normie go to waste. First, I needed to confirm that she didn't have any other plans.
あのさ、有村、この後だけど。
で、どうします？これから。 だって時間はまだまだたっぷりありますよ。せっかく出てきたんだし、このまま帰っちゃうのももったいないじゃないっすか。
そうだな。有村さえ良ければこの後どこかに行くってのもありかも。
Arimura spoke up before I could finish.
じゃあどうしましょう。ちょうど時間的にお腹も空いてきたし、なんか食べにでも行きます？
Oh no. What could this lead us on?
そうだな。
Yes, get it. This was perfect. I'd had my eyes on a couple of restaurants just in case this happened. Good man. At times like this, it was important to pick a place that a girl would like. That was what a normie had to be able to do. The problem was that there were too many good options to choose from. There was the time to consider, the location, and the weather and temperature. Well, maybe not that much. Cool Cat had insisted that I take all of these into account. I'm worried. At this hour, every place would be pretty crowded. We should go someplace pretty light then. For example, something we could buy and then walk around and eat. Which meant...
ここですか？
ああ、ここで売ってるキャラメルポップコーンが美味しいらしいんだ。
へえ、宮代先輩って思ったより流行りとか詳しいんですね。
ま、僕はリア充だからな。待っててくれ。ちょっと買ってくれよ。
You know, that's probably something that is not worth bragging about, but whatever. I won't complain. This is a delusion after all.
お待たせ。
It's not real.
わあ、甘い匂い。美味しそう。
Just like my dreams.
さあ、食べたまえ。
いただきます。
Yes.
おいしい。何これ？これ超美味しいです。
だろ。
I hadn't spent the last 2 days looking it up for nothing.
先輩もどうぞ。はい。あーん。どう？美味しい？
美味しいです。
I was stammering.
じゃあ今度は先輩から。
え？
あーん。
This is weird. Why was this so exciting? This was totally different than going shopping with Serika and Kirisu. Was this what a date was like?
あ、先輩の手、ポップコーンの粉がいっぱいついちゃってますよ。
本当だ。
Yeah, let's go get a napkin,
ほら、
please.
貸してください。
Before I could even think about what she meant, she grabbed my hand. Yep, of course. Yep, Nope, I could have just gone for a napkin like I wanted to begin with, because I was worried that, you know, Takuru's horny ass mind would bring us in this direction, but okay, yeah, let's do that.
これで綺麗になりました。
Did the normal normies do this sort of thing all the time?
ねえ先輩、ひなえ、この後買い物に付き合ってほしいな。
買い物？いいけど。
やったー。実はね、買おうと思ってたものがあったの。
Something she was thinking about buying.
こっちです。
She wouldn't tell me what it was that she wanted to buy. But we kept going further into an area meant for girls, and I was starting to feel more and more awkward.
ランチが重かったらやめよっかなーって思ってたんですけど、よかった軽いもので。あった、ここです。
ここって。
What does that say? Via Sala. What does that mean? I kind of know where this is
まだ
going.
目を開けちゃダメですよ。
Like, I've watched a lot of slice of life, rom-com, ridiculous ass anime.
はい。じゃあ、お願いします。
Not enough to get like a degree or anything, but definitely an, yep. Well, it was nice having this video monetized until this point.
先輩どうしました？
Don't zoom in.
これはまずいんじゃないのか。
バレなきゃ大丈夫ですって。
Still, was it really okay for the two of us to be in the same changing room in the swimsuit area together? I know this. There's a word for this situation. I think it's sneg. I don't know about that one,
それよ
actually.
りほら先輩、後ろ早く結んでくださいよ。じゃないと水着ずり落ちちゃう。
いいのか？
Don't you have hands and
い
arms?
いも何も早くしてくれないと。
Uh-huh. Thank God that ended. No, that's not going to happen. But it might be something close.
とりあえず何系がいい？この辺ならいくつか候補が。
じゃあお任せします。
Oh no, my worst nightmare. Being the guy that must choose.
そうか。
In all honesty, on the dates that I've gone on, and yes, I've gone on dates. Please don't question it any further. It's really difficult to find like a location, one to hang out, and then two, where to eat before or after. Because you have to consider yourself, or at least that's what I do, but you also got to consider your date. You know, what do they like? What do you like? What can you handle? I know I can't handle much, because anxiety and all that, but that's not the point. There's a lot that goes into choosing a place, and it's just a lot simpler if somebody else chooses. Or is it? I don't know. I've had a date that did choose, and I don't remember eating anything. That was weird. That was not right. That was not okay of me to do. Don't do that. Always eat something, even if it's small. I called up the map I had in my head.
じゃあ、あそこに行ってみようか。
ここですか？
あれ、確かここだと思ったんだけど。
Where I thought I'd find an Italian restaurant with a delicious lunch menu, I found a ramen place. I mean, that's good too. And there was a big line too.
ラーメンですか？まあ嫌いじゃないですけど、さすがにこの列は。
だよな。
This didn't make sense.
そうだ、この近くにもう一軒あったと思うんだけど。
Right up this way.
現在改装中。
Ah. Damn. So long confidant points. It didn't say that online. When you Google a store's hours, and it doesn't reflect the COVID-19 hours that they have in place. I started to get a bad feeling. My reputation as a rice-sider was in danger.
待て、確かまだ他にも。
私、あそこがいいな。ほら、いつも行く、あのって、
ラックスか。
あそこって、月替わりのランチやってるでしょ？私、今月のまだ食べてなくて。
I guess that works. Why not?
お主らか。今日は2人か？いつもの席が空いておるぞ。
She looked a little dead. The waitress led us inside.
マウンテンビューとオレンジジュース、マンスリーランチ2つじゃの。しばし待つがよい。
We ended up coming here, huh?
やっぱり行き慣れたところの方が安心しますよね。
そうだな。
I mean, there's totally nothing wrong with coming to a place like this.
もしかして 落ち込んでます？
落ち込む？なんで僕が落ち込まなきゃならないんだよ。
マニュアル通りに行かなかったから？とりあえず褒めてみたり、道路歩くときに車道側歩いたり、人気のお店をリサーチしたり。
Ah, she caught on.
違うぞ、それはリア充である僕にとって自然と備わっていることであって、別に特別リサーチしたなんてことは。
やっぱしてたんですね。
That's right. I was talking to Arimura. There was no point in trying to lie.
まあそんなことだと思いましたよ。だっていつもの宮代先輩と違うんだもん。
Come to think of it, Arimura had said something similar before.
僕ってそんなに分かりやすいのか？
すっげすけです。でもそれって悪くないですよ。
気休めはいいよ。分かりやすいとか言われて喜ぶやつなんていないだろう。
気休めじゃないですよ。少なくとも私にとっては一緒にいて安心できるってのは大きいです。
それって。
あ、ほら来ましたよ、ご飯。ほれ、注文の品じゃ。心して食うがよい。おいしそう。いただきます。
Well, wait, what was the monthly special? I kind of want to know.
先輩、食べないんですか？
いや、食べるよ。
How was I supposed to interpret what she just said? I kept thinking throughout the rest of lunch, but I never came up with an answer.
先輩、まだ時間ありますよね。もうちょっと付き合ってもらってもいいですか？
Yeah.
ああ。
そんな身構えなくてもいいですって。別にどこに行くとか考えず自然で行きましょう。自然で。
And so I ended up walking around the city of Shibuya with Arimura without doing a single item on my date plan. And that's okay. That's totally fine.
あれ可愛くないですか？
I don't really want to throw around dating advice in a visual novel video. That just doesn't seem right. Also just me, throwing around dating advice. That's not right either. But what I did want to say was, when you're going out to a date, don't do what Takuru did. Like, it's not worth it. I mean, if you have questions, maybe ask a friend or family, like, what you should do in certain circumstances with a date. But if you overcomplicate it, it won't be natural and therefore not a good time for anybody. It'll just be stressful, weird, and nobody would like it. Not even you, and especially not your date. So when you're going on a date, first off, be natural. Do things that you want to do and things that you think that she'd be, totally okay with doing. Don't try to be over the top, I guess. Just hang out. Do whatever that you think would be fun to do, just the two of you. I just said I shouldn't give dating advice, and here I am. I hope people skip this part. Was there any point in just wandering around with no plans or goals? I wasn't sure, but were we having fun though?
先輩はどういう服が好みです？
そうだな。僕は
やっぱ露出多めのとか？
違う、そういうのは。
The delusion is coming slightly true.
まあ嫌いじゃないけど。
素直でよろしい。
I was surprised to find that part of me was enjoying it. Maybe that was just because there was no point in trying to pretend to be someone I wasn't around Arimura. Hell yeah. Truthfulness.
次はどこ行きましょうか？
But it wasn't just that.
そういえば先輩、知ってます？この裏に。
The hell just happened?
おい!
Suddenly, Arimura fell forward and almost tripped. I quickly grabbed her hand.
間一髪。危ない危ない。
こんな何もないところで転ぶとか、年なんじゃないのか？
Oh, I've done that before.
しっけえな。先輩より若いですよ。まあ でも一応お礼言っときます。ありがとうございます。
I felt a little awkward somehow and went to let go of her hand.
もうちょっとこのままでもいいかななんて。
Fortunately, I still didn't have the courage to let go of her hand. You need courage for that? I think I'm like courage 3 right now on Persona 5. Things started to feel awkward and embarrassing.
ねえ、あの二人見て。仲いいよね。私たちもあの二人みたいになりたいね。
I could hear people whispering as we passed them. Normally, I would have quickly moved away. This is how it is to be a normie. But today, for some reason, it didn't bother me.
なんか不思議。
何か？
私って普段はね、いつも自分を装ってるんです。だからそのせいで本当の自分っていうのがわからなくなっちゃうんですよね。普段友達とおどけている時の自分、それとも思ってもないことを言われてムカついてる時の自分、それでも笑顔で笑ってる時の自分、どれが本当の私なのって。でもなんか先輩といると自然な自分でいられる気がします。これが本当の自分だったのかなって。
I suddenly realized that Arimura hadn't been overly energetic today, or cold, like she was when we first met. If this was who she really was, then maybe I could feel relaxed when I was around her too, excuse me. It was a different kind of peace than I felt with Sarika and Kirisu. Maybe it was just a kind of sympathy, because we were both psychics. I almost said physics again. What's with me and physics? But part of me didn't think that was so bad.
それじゃあ今日はここで。ありがとうございました。楽しかったです。
'Twas.
こっちこそ。
Arimura and I had both seemed to forget that the whole point of this was just to get me a new smartphone.
それじゃあまた。
また。
Arimura smiled a little and disappeared into the Shibuya streets. She didn't say her usual goodbye, but that was probably because this was who she really was. I could still feel her warmth in my hand when I closed my fist. Nah, bro, that's hand-holding sweat. Are we following her now? Arimura Hinae said her goodbye and walked a while before turning back. She could see Miyashiro Takuru standing in the crowd. What she just told Takuru was how she really felt. Until now, whenever she'd been talking to a friend or to a boy, she'd always pretended to be someone she wasn't. It was the same with her uncle's family who she was staying with. Her uncle and his wife were basically good people, but she knew that at times they felt sick of her. Sometimes other people's feelings could be like a knife in your heart. And when they were good people, that only made it worse when you found out that they didn't really mean what they said. Hinaya had been dealing with that for years. And now? For some reason, when she was with Takuru, she felt better. Of course, she hadn't felt that way when she'd met him at first. She hadn't liked him at all, in fact. He was a coward and a smart aleck. Yeah, that's a pretty good way to describe him. That first impression was probably right. But she could feel something delicate within him that went beyond all of that. She might have seen a piece of herself within him. The way he panicked or tried to force himself to pretend that he was calm, she found herself laughing when she remembered that, and she laughed when she saw herself laughing, excuse me. To Arimura, these were all new experiences. She should have been exhausted from all the walking she'd done today, but strangely, her steps were light and quick. So, that's why she was sure that someone else had done it. Oh no. Just as she went down to go down the stairs, she felt a small impact on her back. Two hands. By the time she realized that she was in danger, she'd already missed a step. The world spun. She could see the sky. There was a dull pain in her arms and legs, and she could hear someone running away. It took a while for her to realize that someone had pushed her. It wasn't a prank. Someone had tried to kill her. What the fuck? Oh no. Now another glance to the past. God damn it, it's gonna be like one glance at the past every episode, it seems like. Okay, well, we'll wrap it up for that one. I don't know what the hell happened there at the end, but I guess we'll find out next time. I guess that's one of the limitations in visual novels. It's really hard to tell what actions are being performed without that description. And in this case, we didn't really get much of a description yet, so who the hell knows? But this was interesting. I want to lay down something with you guys real quick. When I was jumping into this route, and before I jumped into any of these routes, I kind of told myself that I didn't really want them to be, you know, with like a romantic interest or anything like that. There seems to be a little bit of that, but right now that doesn't seem to be like the focus. The focus is still definitely on Arimura and being able to open up, which, yes, she is absolutely doing, which is fantastic. I love it. But you can obviously tell that there's that little bit of like, you know, romantic hint that's being thrown around between the two of them. And you can definitely see it, especially with this date that they just went on. And you can also see that being a narrative that everybody around them is trying to push. What I'm trying to get at is, I was a little iffy about that. I was like, oh man, they are going in this direction, and that's not what I had hoped for. But for some reason, because they're tying it in with how Arimura is, and with these glimpses at the past, it's not all that bad. It's a little different, which I can definitely appreciate, and it's really good storytelling so far. It's not just like, oh man, you know, this female character that was very important in the main plot, you know, wouldn't it be cool if there was just an arc about the main character and her being together, you know, just randomly? It's not that. There is a reason that they are being pushed together, and we're seeing more from Arimura because of it. And I can definitely appreciate that. So, you know, screw my original thoughts. It's going in a direction that I can 100% appreciate so far. I'm digging this route. It's a different take on Chaos Child, obviously, but I'm totally cool with it. World line theory. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the episode as much as I did. If you did enjoy the episode, consider leaving a like, subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take it easy.